Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to welcome to our program here at Sharjah Broadcasting Authority. Paradise and Hell, Jannah wa Jahannam. And today I want to talk about oppression. Oppression. There is a lot of oppression on the earth today. And I'm not pointing the finger at any one individual or in any group. We just generalize. And for all of us to open our eyes, we have to open our eyes. Whether we can ourselves do something about it or not is a separate issue. We need to open our eyes, and first and foremost, we need to look at ourselves and make sure that I am not an oppressor, especially heads of households or managers in businesses, owners of businesses, people who are in official capacities, people who have been entrusted with responsibilities, especially like military, police, criminal justice system, judges, lawyers, people who have been entrusted with the society, security of the society. We have to be very careful. People who have taken oaths, be very careful. Today we have many people who they've forgotten that they have taken oaths to preserve and protect the society. That your job is to protect the people, not to abuse or oppress the people or to use their positions for a greater position or for benefit for themselves individually. That they are actually sworn as servants of the society in which they live as a whole, meaning that every person who is in that society, that they are to be of service to them. Once they take an oath, once they sign their contract, as an example, if that agreement is there, then that's what that means. But there are many people who have gotten lost in this and have become abusers. It's very, very dangerous. And all of us who have had or presently in this kind of position in anywhere in the society where we have responsibility and accountability over other people, we should keep this in mind. And we should be very, very careful that we have to come before Allah and any one single person has something to say about us. And we have to account for some type of abuse. We should be very careful about this. SubhanAllah. And Jabir bin Abdullah reported the Prophet ﷺ said, beware of injustice, for oppression will be darkness on the day of resurrection. And beware of stinginess, because it doomed those who were before you. It incited them to shed blood and treat unlawful as lawful. Don't we see this today? Just think about it. Just think about it. How people are today killing their parents for money, for insurance policies, for land, for bank accounts, their parents. And some people killing their children and other relatives or partners. Men killing women, their wives, wives having their husbands killed or killing their husbands. We're seeing this today, isn't it? Not that it's something new in history, but the thing is that because of social media today, it is more widespread, as an example. And there are those who are also thriving from reporting these things, which is another danger because it inspires people who maybe previously never thought of such an act. Person says, well, I'm tired of this person anyway. And that person, if he or she dies, I can get a lot of money. So let me sit down and think about a plan. I can get with one other person or two other people, and let's make a plan, and we'll share the wealth. I don't have to carry it out myself, but I can be the one to support it, And then once it's done, we'll share the wealth. Now that person before may have, even though they themselves may have had a difficult personal relationship, but this never came in their mind. But now, because someone reported, oh, did you see that this famous person did 1, 2, 3? And they got away with it. And now after they've gotten old, they wrote a book on it. And from the book, now they made a movie. So, oh, if he could do it, if she could do it, why not me? So this is one of the forms in which Satan works. Just feeding information, suggestion. And as a result, we see this going on in front of our eyes. Unfortunately. And Abu Hurairah reported, the Prophet ﷺ said, on the resurrection day, the rights will be paid to those whom they are due, so much so that a hornless sheep will be retaliated for by punishing the horned sheep which broke its horns. What does that tell us? What does it tell us? It tells us that the smallest injustice, we will be held accountable for. The things which today many of us we take for granted because it's common today. It's common. This guy, he's from such and such a place. These people are like someone. Doesn't matter how you treat them. They're lucky to work here. They're lucky to have a job. They're lucky to be here, there, everywhere. Don't complain. There's thousands of you. Thousands of people, I can replace you. Just push a button, I can replace you. So just be glad to be here. Shut your mouth. Don't say anything. This we find, unfortunately, and Aisha anha reported the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever usurps unlawfully even a handspan of land, a collar measuring 7 times this land will be placed around his neck on the day of resurrection. Imagine. And there's some other narrations that say this will be fire. Now, we see all kinds of ads about land, isn't it? Oh, you can come here, don't worry. You can get land cheap and we'll take care of you. And I'm not saying that everybody's not telling the truth. I'm not saying that, and I'm not insinuating it. But all of us know that some of these guys are phonies. We know that. So if you're a person who is interested in purchasing land somewhere, then you have to be very, very careful, and you have to follow some very carefully planned steps to make sure that whatever money that you give, that land actually exchanges in your hand and actually becomes yours, and the rules and regulations by the government are properly followed, and that it's secured. And anybody who has been involved in any kind of land disputes knows that for sure. And that's anywhere in the world, no matter how fast people tell you, well, you can do it here, and you can come here, and you can get it so signed, stamped, and delivered. It says, well, I don't suggest you do that. But just listen to what we're talking about, because these are things that are happening right now in front of our eyes. In present, social media has presented these things like glitter. This is the whole aspect of media in its promotion, to promote it and to make it look like, oh, all that glitters is gold and it's going to be this great reward for me and benefit. You have to be very, very careful. And again, I'm not saying this to attack anyone. We're saying this to be warned, very simply, because many people are very gullible. And then you find out people, they lost their life savings. Some people lost their businesses. Some people lost their jobs. Some people lost their families. They lost their homes. You name it. Because these other people don't care. They don't care. They have no reality that they have to account before Allah. They have no concept of a day of resurrection, no concept that there's paradise and hellfire. Their whole concept is this world. And some of them are so obsessed with grabbing the things of the world, they themselves never really enjoy it. Their life is in peril and disarray. They're so busy like this. That's their life. They're addicted again to this action. They themselves never really enjoy whatever it is that they've gained. If we're talking about how people says, well, you want to enjoy your wealth and so forth, they're so busy with this, as an example, that they're like a rat on a cylinder. If you don't believe it, ask and see. And much of what people are promoting, the luxury and so forth and so on, those people never enjoy the luxury. This is also a promotion. This is a promotion to entice you, okay, to become a victim. People say, oh, brother, you're so negative. Why do you talk like that? Because, why? Because some people need to tell the truth. We have a lot of liars. We have a lot of liars. And very few people are actually calling the people to the truth on the things in which we experience on a daily basis. The challenges of the common family. The challenges that the common family in the world today is facing. What a father is facing if he doesn't have a job. What a mother is facing if she has a child who needs special assistance, as an example. And as a family, what are they doing now? As an example, what's happening now with many families? They've taken their savings and, for example, they've educated their children. Now their children have graduated from university and the children can't find a job, as an example. And this is a common global phenomenon right now. Okay. We're talking about solutions in relationship to the things that we're doing on a daily basis, the challenges that people are facing today. We need to understand that dynamic because outside of our societies in many instances and internally, we're facing many things which we've never seen before. We've never experienced it. Not that it hasn't happened before, but not to us specifically. And it crosses all cultural barriers, as much as some people don't want to admit it. And people ask me, says, well, brother, we said, because I'm dealing with it personally. I'm dealing with people from all cultural backgrounds. In all languages, in ethnic groups, in educational groups, in financial groups, all, as an example. And Abu Musa reported, the Prophet ﷺ said, verily, Allah gives respite to the oppressor, but when he seizes him, he does not let him escape. When he seizes him, he does not let him escape. This is a warning to every oppressor. Then he recited this ayah, subhanallah, from Surah Hud. This is Surah number 11, verse number 102. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Such is the seizure of your Rabb, your Lord, when he seizes, and Allah is talking about the population of the towns while they are doing wrong. Verily, his seizure is painful and severe. This is collected by Bukhari and Muslim. And this is a warning. We have many people today who have become comfortable in their lifestyles, and they're promoting lifestyles of disobedience to God openly and flagrantly. They think that they are getting away with it. They're oblivious in many instances. They don't care. They don't care about God. They only care about their desires and what they're doing. And it's interesting, I heard this recently, that there are some activities going on from time to time in places where people historically were destroyed in history for their disobedience to Allah. This is very, very dangerous. It means that the people who engage in these activities have no belief at all. They don't believe that this happened historically and that Allah destroyed these people for their bad deeds and that Allah will not destroy them. Allahu Akbar. Whereas the Prophet ﷺ warned us about this, and when he used to pass by the places that he knew where people were destroyed for their disobedience to Allah, he told the companions not to look and to move very rapidly past these places. And we find people who are devising new methods to lead people astray through their imaginations, to put them in imaginary places, in forms, in situations and circumstances that will take them away from the belief in Allah and place them in a false environment that is totally based on their sick imaginations, which ultimately is what? The way of the people of the hellfire. And they can put on some goggles and tune out the rest of the world and tune in this new existence. Allahu Akbar. Extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. So, my dear viewers, we're warning everyone, be very, very careful about this modern technology, how you use it, what you use it for. Be satisfied with limiting it and using it to the best of your ability for that which stays within the guidelines of what Allah has prescribed for us. And stay away from anything that's going to take you astray. Remember, we mentioned the two. We are always working for the two: paradise, hellfire. Barakallahu feekum. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to thank you for joining us here at Sharjah Broadcasting Authority, and we look forward to seeing you here on future programs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.